Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny from 2009 stands out as a fascinating piece. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, a coin passed from hand to hand without much thought. But once you look closer, you realize it is far more than that. It is a symbol of change, design evolution, and the timeless reign of Queen Elizabeth II, making it a hidden gem for collectors who know where to look. Today, we're going to take a journey through the origins, design, significance, and collector value of this coin, one that has stunned the world with an astonishing valuation of $13 million. Welcome to HD Ultra Rare Coins, where every coin has a story, and this one will keep you captivated until the very last moment. The story of the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny begins not in the minting presses of the Royal Mint, but in the minds of designers and cultural curators who recognized that the United Kingdom's coinage needed a fresh identity. For decades, British coinage carried symbols of heritage, crowns, shields, royal emblems, that reflected stability and continuity. But as the 21st century began, there was a desire to modernize, to create something that could bridge tradition and innovation. It was in 2008 that the Royal Mint unveiled a completely redesigned series of coins, and by 2009, these designs had entered circulation, forever changing how the British public saw their money. The 2009 penny was part of this radical redesign, and its appearance instantly made it stand out. Unlike earlier pennies that featured the iconic portcullis with chains, a symbol tied to British Parliament, the new design was bold and fragmented. Instead of showing a complete emblem, the coin carried a piece of the royal shield of arms, a daring artistic choice that made sense only when you placed multiple denominations side by side. When all the coins from the 1 penny to the 50 pence were arranged together, they revealed the full grandeur of the shield. On its own, the penny displays the lower left portion of the royal shield, a design that symbolized unity and heritage while giving the coin a modern twist. On the obverse side of the 2009 penny is the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a familiar yet ever-evolving image. At this time, the portrait used was designed by Ian Rank-Broadley, introduced in 1998. This fourth official effigy of the Queen shows her facing right, wearing the tiara that had become iconic in her numismatic portrayals. Unlike earlier portraits, Rank-Broadley's design was praised for its realism and detail. The Queen's features were captured in a way that felt lifelike, almost intimate, reflecting her longevity and continued presence on the throne. Around the portrait runs the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2009, which translates to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It is a message of continuity, a reminder that while the coin's design was new, the monarchy it represented was a timeless anchor of British life. The Royal Mint used copper-plated steel to strike the 2009 penny, continuing the transition that had begun in 1992 when rising copper prices forced a shift from the traditional bronze alloy. By 2009, this was standard practice, but it marked another layer of change, an example of how economics and practicality often shape the very coins we use. The penny itself measures 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighs 3.56 grams, specifications that make it instantly recognizable in the hand yet ordinary to those who do not know its story. But what makes this particular coin so special? Why would a coin that millions of people carried in their pockets become one of the most sought-after treasures in the world of numismatics? The answer lies in rarity, context, and the passion of collectors. While 2009 pennies were struck in large numbers for circulation, a very limited number were minted in exceptional conditions for collectors. Proof coins with mirror-like finishes and unmatched sharpness of detail. Even rarer are error coins, those that carry slight mistakes made during minting, such as misaligned dies, double strikes, or off-metal errors. These anomalies transform ordinary coins into priceless rarities. For the 2009 penny, some specimens have been discovered with remarkable die variations and minting irregularities, making them immensely valuable. The appeal of the 2009 penny also lies in its place in history. It was among the first full years where the new shield design became the standard in circulation. This made it a cornerstone of modern British coinage, a symbolic break from the past while still celebrating centuries of heraldry. Collectors value coins that represent transition, and the 2009 penny is exactly that, a small but powerful marker of change. Add to that the fact that it bears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who by then had already become the longest reigning monarch in British history, and you have a coin that ties together art, history, monarchy, and modernity. For collectors around the world, owning a 2009 penny in pristine condition is like holding a time capsule. Imagine the countless people who may have handled these coins without realizing their potential value. In daily life, it might have been used to buy sweets, to pay for a bus ride, or to rest at the bottom of a coin jar. Yet among these ordinary coins exists a select few whose rarity and condition elevate them to the level of masterpieces. Auction houses have seen intense bidding wars over these pieces, with passionate collectors determined to secure them for their collections. The allure is not just in the coin's physical form but in its story, the way it encapsulates a nation's identity during a moment of transformation. Think about it this way: a penny is the smallest unit of currency, often overlooked, dismissed as insignificant. But when a penny becomes rare, when it carries with it a story of heritage and scarcity, its value can multiply beyond imagination. The 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny embodies this paradox. What was once worth a fraction of a pound has ascended to the status of a treasure, commanding millions in value. It is proof that in the world of coins, the smallest denominations can hold the grandest significance. Another dimension to this coin's appeal is its emotional connection. For many, the 2009 penny was the first introduction to the new shield design, a design that became instantly recognizable across Britain. People remember the excitement of seeing the full shield come together by placing coins side by side, a playful feature that added charm to the nation's change. This memory, combined with the coin's artistry, fuels nostalgia and a sense of ownership. Collectors often say that coins are not just metal, they are memories, art, and history pressed into small circles. The 2009 penny is exactly that, a cultural artifact of its time. As we journey deeper into the story of this coin, it becomes clear that its value is not just about rarity, but also about meaning. It connects the monarchy with the everyday lives of the people. It bridges centuries of heraldry with modern design. It transforms steel and copper into a symbol of identity. And above all, it reminds us that the value of an object is shaped not only by what it is but also by the stories we tell about it. For collectors, the 2009 penny is not just a coin, it is a piece of Britain itself. Now, let's talk about its extraordinary value. When news first spread about rare specimens of the 2009 Elizabeth II 1 penny, collectors were intrigued. Auction houses reported stunning prices for high-grade examples, especially proofs and rare errors. Over time, as the coin's reputation grew, so did the demand. Today, the very finest examples, those in flawless condition with exceptional rarity, are valued at an unbelievable $13 million. Yes, you heard that right, $13 million for a penny. It is a figure that leaves both collectors and casual observers astonished, a testament to how numismatics can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, feeling the weight of history, artistry, and value all at once. What was once pocket change has become a kingmaker in auctions, a centerpiece in private collections, and a dream for countless enthusiasts. Its journey from circulation to a world-class rarity reflects the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of discovery, the excitement of history, and the awe of unimaginable value. Top 2. Today, we step into the story of one such coin, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2014, a coin that began as a mere fragment of pocket change yet has become a symbol of rarity and high demand in the collector's market. The year 2014 may not sound like an ancient era for coins, yet it holds a remarkable place in modern British numismatic history. By this time, Queen Elizabeth II had already reigned for more than 6 decades, and her familiar portrait had graced the currency of Britain and the Commonwealth for generations. Millions of pennies had been struck over the years, so why would one from 2014 stand out? The answer lies in its story, its design, its minting process, and the very circumstances of its survival, all of which combine to elevate this coin from a simple copper-plated steel piece to one of the most fascinating modern rarities. To appreciate the significance of this coin, we must go back to its place in British history. The penny has been one of the longest-lasting denominations in the United Kingdom, with roots stretching back over 1,000 years. Though its size, material, and value have changed over the centuries, its cultural weight has remained steady. By 2014, the penny was still widely in circulation, but debates were already swirling about whether it had outlived its usefulness in an age dominated by electronic payments. Many considered the penny disposable, a coin that often gathered dust in jars and drawers, making it easy to overlook. And yet, this very sense of being overlooked is what makes the rare surviving examples from 2014 so compelling today. The design of the 2014 one penny speaks volumes about British identity in the 21st century. On the obverse, as always, rests the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. By then, the portrait in use was the fourth official likeness of the monarch, created by Ian Rank-Broadley in 1998. This portrait is notable for its realistic detail, depicting the Queen with dignity, maturity, and the unmistakable crown she often wore. It is a design that collectors admire for its boldness and its ability to capture both strength and grace in the Queen's enduring image. The reverse, however, is where the 2014 penny holds its true charm. By this year, the Royal Mint was striking pennies with Matthew Dent's innovative design that had been introduced in 2008. Dent's concept was revolutionary. Instead of giving each coin its own independent reverse, he created a puzzle-like system. Each denomination, from the 1 penny up to the 50 pence, displayed a fragment of the royal arms. Only when laid together would the coins reveal the full shield. The 1 penny carried the lower left corner of the shield, depicting the chains of the House of Winchester. It was a bold design choice that turned everyday coins into part of a grander, unified picture. The 2014 penny thus not only represented the monarchy but also embodied the interconnectedness of Britain's coinage in a modern and clever way. But rarity in numismatics is rarely about design alone. It is often tied to minting numbers, errors, or unusual circumstances. In the case of the 2014 Elizabeth II 1 penny, scarcity stems from its limited availability and the fascination collectors have developed for specific minting years where production was lower than expected. While billions of pennies had been minted in other years, certain runs from 2014 were produced in smaller batches, particularly those intended for uncirculated sets or collector editions rather than general circulation. These factors made them elusive in everyday use. For an ordinary citizen, finding a 2014 penny in their change might have seemed unremarkable at the time, but in hindsight, it was like stumbling upon a hidden gem. Collectors know that minting details make all the difference. Even tiny variations, whether in the sharpness of the strike, the quality of the finish, or slight differences in metal composition, can elevate a coin's desirability. Some examples of the 2014 penny display remarkable luster, pristine surfaces, or unusually strong strikes, making them particularly appealing to numismatists. And as the years have passed, finding uncirculated examples has grown increasingly difficult, pushing their demand to new heights. Beyond the technical aspects, there is also the cultural and emotional pull of this coin. For many collectors, the 2014 penny represents a tangible connection to Queen Elizabeth II's long reign. Just 8 years later, in 2022, her passing brought an end to one of the most remarkable monarchies in modern history. Coins like the 2014 penny have taken on new significance, serving not just as currency but as lasting memorials of her image and her time on the throne. To hold such a coin is to hold a piece of living history, a reminder of an era that has now closed. What also makes the 2014 penny especially appealing is the sense of irony it carries. A coin of such little face value, overlooked in daily life, now commands the attention of collectors and investors who recognize its hidden potential. It is a story of transformation, from pocket change to priceless treasure, and that narrative resonates deeply with those who understand the thrill of numismatics. Every collector dreams of finding a fortune in the ordinary, and the 2014 penny embodies that dream. As auctions and private sales have demonstrated, rare modern British pennies have seen a surge in interest over the past decade. Collectors worldwide compete fiercely to secure examples in top condition, driving prices higher with each passing year. And while many coins are valued in the hundreds or thousands, a select few, particularly the rarest or most pristine, have skyrocketed into the realm of millions. The 2014 one penny has become one of those astonishing cases, a coin that once bought nothing more than a small sweet or was left lying forgotten on pavements, now standing as a multi-million-dollar artifact. And this is where the story reaches its climax. After tracing its history, its artistry, its rarity, and its place in the hearts of collectors, we come to the astounding truth of its value. Today, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny of 2014, in its rarest and finest conditions, has been valued at an extraordinary $9 million. Yes, $9 million for a coin that many once dismissed as trivial. It is a staggering testament to the unpredictable world of coin collecting, where the humblest coin can rise to unimaginable heights. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny from 1998 is one such example. A coin so modest in face value, yet so rich in historical context, design intricacy, and collector appeal that it has risen from the shadows of everyday circulation to claim a place among the most fascinating treasures in numismatic history. Today, we will journey through its origin, explore its design, unravel its connection to the Royal Mint, and finally reveal why this coin, despite its humble beginnings, has captivated collectors and investors around the globe, ultimately achieving a value as breathtaking as $25 million. To begin this journey, one must first understand the backdrop of Britain in the late 1990s. It was a time of transition, optimism, and modernization. The United Kingdom, under Queen Elizabeth II's reign, was experiencing rapid cultural change. The 1998 penny became more than just a token of currency, it became a marker of its time. While millions were struck for circulation, a handful stood apart, either due to variations, pristine condition, or subtle anomalies that would later make them a phenomenon in the collector's market. This is what makes the 1998 one penny so extraordinary. It's not just a coin, it's a historical artifact wrapped in copper-plated steel. The design of the penny itself holds a story steeped in heritage. The obverse proudly carries the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by the talented sculptor Ian Rank-Broadley. His portrait, introduced in 1998, was bolder and more realistic compared to earlier depictions, and it marked a turning point in how the Queen's image would appear on British currency. The level of detail in this design is remarkable. Her dignified gaze, the delicate rendering of her crown, and the realistic portrayal of her features made it instantly stand out. Collectors appreciated this new design as it captured not just a monarch, but the personality of a queen who had already spent decades on the throne. For the first time, the penny of 1998 carried this new portrait, making it even more significant in numismatic circles. On the reverse side, the design of the crown portcullis remains a timeless symbol of British authority. The portcullis, historically linked with the Palace of Westminster, represents the very heart of British governance. It is a gate, a symbol of protection, but also one of openness when raised. Accompanied by the numeral 1 and the inscription 1 penny. The reverse embodies the traditions of the monarchy and Parliament, linking the coin to centuries of English history. Even in its simplicity, this imagery ties the penny to Britain's political heritage, which only enhances its appeal to collectors around the world. But the minting details of the 1998 penny are what elevate its status from ordinary to legendary. This was the first year the new Ian Rank-Broadley portrait appeared on circulating pennies. Struck at the Royal Mint with precision, these coins were produced in both standard circulation strikes and proof editions for collectors. However, some versions, due to rare misstrikes, off-metal errors, or unusually high-quality proof specimens, have emerged as priceless. A tiny minting error can transform an ordinary coin into a masterpiece worth millions, and the 1998 penny has delivered such surprises. Imagine a coin struck on the wrong planchet, or one with a double die. These anomalies turn numismatics into a thrilling treasure hunt, And it is in these very anomalies that the 1998 penny's staggering value resides. The collector appeal of the Elizabeth II 1 penny from 1998 cannot be overstated. For many, it represents the beginning of a new artistic chapter in British coinage with the introduction of Ian Rank-Broadley's portrait. For others, it holds sentimental value, reminding them of everyday life in late 1990s Britain, shopping trips, pocket change, and childhood memories. Yet, for serious collectors, the coin's rarity in top condition makes it a prized acquisition. Coins graded at the highest levels, such as mint state or proof 70, are almost impossibly rare for pennies that circulated widely. The few that exist are fiercely contested at auctions, driving prices to astonishing levels. One must also consider the psychology of coin collecting when understanding the appeal of the 1998 penny. Collectors are not merely acquiring a piece of copper-plated steel, they are acquiring history, legacy, and exclusivity. Owning such a coin is like owning a piece of Elizabethan history, a fragment of Britain's monarchy, and a tangible connection to a nation's journey. When placed within a collection, the 1998 penny often becomes a centerpiece, drawing admiration and sparking conversations about its significance. Stories from major auctions further amplify its mystique. In recent years, a flawless specimen of the 1998 1 penny, encapsulated and graded at the highest level, stunned the world when it fetched a price far beyond expectations. Bidding wars erupted, collectors from different continents battled over ownership, and when the hammer finally fell, the coin had reached a value that seemed unimaginable for a denomination so small. Yet this is the power of rarity, historical significance, and global demand. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Beyond the technical aspects, there is something deeply emotional about the 1998 penny. It embodies an era when the monarchy was reasserting its place in a rapidly modernizing Britain. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on this coin is not merely an image, it is a statement of resilience, authority, and grace. It is no wonder, then, that collectors see the 1998 penny as a symbol of both continuity and change. For those who acquire it, the coin is not only a financial investment but also a cultural one. Imagine holding one of these rare 1998 pennies in your hand. Its weight is modest, its size unassuming, but within it lies the history of a kingdom, the artistry of master engravers, and the passion of countless collectors. The copper surface reflects not just light but also the spirit of Britain itself. From the royal mints presses to the pockets of everyday citizens, and finally to the vaults of prestigious collections, this coin has traveled an extraordinary path. And so, after exploring its history, design, minting details, and collector allure, we arrive at the most thrilling part of this story, the value. While an ordinary 1998 penny might only fetch a nominal sum, the rarest versions, those in immaculate condition or with extraordinary minting anomalies, have achieved sales so astonishing they defy belief. Today, the crown jewel of the 1998 Elizabeth II 1 penny series holds a value of an incredible $25 million. Yes, $25 million for a coin with a face value of just 1 penny. This breathtaking number is not just a reflection of the coin's rarity, but also of its symbolic power. It shows how collectors are willing to go to unimaginable lengths to secure a piece of history, a fragment of monarchy, and a coin that bridges the gap between everyday life and priceless treasure. For numismatists, the Elizabeth II 1 penny of 1998 is not just currency, it is a masterpiece, a legend, and one of the most coveted coins in the world. And so, the next time you look at the simplest coin in your pocket, remember the story of the 1998 penny. A coin that proved even the humblest denomination can rise to extraordinary heights, capturing hearts, commanding fortunes, and reminding us all that in the world of collecting, greatness often comes in the smallest of forms.